So Workday integration overview we'll be talking about here. Hopefully you will be able to see my screen here. So let me talk about today's agenda. So here we'll be having different sections to discuss. One is integration architecture, and other one is Workday Cloud Connect, Workday Integration Cloud Platform, and the integration course content. Finally, we'll be discussing it here. Okay. So first we will talk about an integration architecture here. Let me zoom. If you are unable to speak here. This is an integration architecture of your Workday. If you see, you will be able to see different components available here. So users, system, there is a UI server, integration server, object management system, and persistent store. So if you see this diagram, you'll be able to see different components available here, and it is linked with each other here. One is linked with other, and other one is linked with other. So it's vice versa, it has linked here. So this is a typical architecture of Workday integrations system. Okay. So if you see this diagram, a component, the first one is users are developers who are accessing the Workday with any browser here. Just need a browser, Internet Explorer or a Chrome or a Mozilla Firefox. So any browser, they will be accessing the Workday. Either users or developers who are developing the integrations or integration developers, or end users in the sense who will be using the end product of this application. It can be HR team, it can be payroll team, it can be a benefits team, or it can be different teams are there, time tracking, absence management, recruiting. So users are end users who will be using this application, and developers are who is developing the system. Any both users and developers then log into Workday system using any of this browser, and let's assume mm, they'll enter data, or they work with integrations, or they work with functional systems here through the Workday browser. Okay, they access the Workday, and they work on this Workday application here. Okay, so here you see a component of persistent store. Okay, so we'll talk about that. It's a database. We call it as a database. It's on the cloud. Okay. Before that, just wanted to load that. So all customer data, it can be any employee's personal information, any employee's job information, uh, a company's employees data, basically a company's and organization's employee information. It can be anything. It can be their employees' personal data. It can be employees' job data. It can be employee payroll data or benefits data. So that is, we call it as a data. So all customer data, we call it as a customer data. So all customer data will be stored in persistent store here. If you see a component called persistent store, that information, all employees information, all customers employee data will be stored in persistent store. So this is a database resides on the cloud. Okay, and it will be maintained by Workday here. So this database completely maintained by Workday. Customer need not to bother about this. Any customer here in the sense organization who is implementing the Workday system. A customer can be who is already using the Workday or who is going to implement the Workday. They will call it as a customer here. So they're all employees customers data will be stored in persistent store, and it is maintained by Workday. So customer need not bother about how it is organized and how it is stored in persistent store, in the Workday system or in the cloud system, in the cloud, how it is organized. So customer need not bother about this. It's an headache of the Workday system. Okay, Workday will manage this data here, information here. Okay, let's assume when user or a developer access the application through any web browser like Chrome or Internet Explorer and enter some information. A user can hire an employee, a user can terminate an employee, transfer an employee. So it's nothing but transactions. We call it as an employee data transaction. So when a user enters information, it will get passed through UI server first. There is an UI server here in between, a component called UI server. Then it will pass to object management system. Finally, it reaches to persistent store, where the data will be stored. on the cloud. So there are different components in between when data is passing from a developer or user to persistent store here. Okay. Yeah, we cannot directly access data from this persistent store. The only way to access data through persistent store here is through object management system. It contains a set of web services provided by Workday. So usually what does, like when you have a database, Oracle database, if you want to access some data, you'll be writing some select statements. Or if you want to extract some data, you will be writing some select statement. If you want to import or update data, you'll be writing insert or update statements to interact with the database. So it's all about SQLs. If it is a database, if you will be writing different SQLs to interact with the database. Okay, but here it's not a physical like Oracle database. It's a persistent stored on the cloud. We don't write a SQL statements to interact with this database. So alternatively, we have a web services provided by Workday. So using those web services, we will be accessing are working with persistent store. Suppose if you want to insert some data, or if you want to get some in data from a database, you will be writing a get web services will be there. Using those web services, we extract information from persistent store. Similarly, if you want to import data into Workday or insert data into Workday, we have a put web services. Using those put web services, we load data into Workday system. In both ways, to extract information from persistent store, to import data into persistent store, we'll be having a web services we'll be dealing with, and by using them, we interact with this persistent store. Not like database, we'll be having SQL statements where we write SQLs and interacting with the different database. That is different. That is with the when using the Oracle database, we'll be using it. But since it's Workday on the cloud, and so the interaction, every interaction with the database is going to be through web services here. Okay. So how do you want to interact with this persistent store is next thing here. So if you want to get any data from persistent store, or if you want to update any data from the persistent store, we want to have a make a call to the web service hosted in object management system. So this object management system is a component which is having a set of web services provided by Workday. We call it as a public web services as well in other terms. So these web services, we need to make a call to these web services available in our object management system, okay, to interact with the persistent store here. Okay, so otherwise we cannot interact. If you want to extract information, if you want to import into a persistent store, we need to make a call to the web services available in object management system. Okay, how to make a web service call? Okay, so we have to prepare a web service request to make a web service call here. We have to prepare a web service request, and we need to make a web service call, which is available on the object management system, which is to interact with persistent store here. These requests will be in the form of XML. All the communications with the OMS via or retrieve information from persistent store. What are the web services? You can see put or change or update, okay, or import. You will be seeing list of these web services that starts with put here. Okay, these are used to import data into Workday system here. Like how select statement work in database. Okay, that is nothing but get operations will do the work of select statements. Okay, put operations will be used to used to update information in Workday, or it is equivalent to writing an insert statement or writing a update statement in database here. So all these web services are provided by Workday, and we'll be making use of these web services, and we will be making all to these web services. All these web services available in persistent store, the component called. So by using an integration
Ramesh,
or using mm, mm, yeah, an integration or API calls, by using API calls, we'll be able to make a call to this web services available in object management system, okay, which is finally used to interact with persistent store. or a database here, that is called here. So this way how we'll be interacting with here. So let's assume when the user access Workday application or a developer user access the application and enter update some information here. Okay, he can update through application or he can update through integrations. There are both the ways. Okay, if he updates some information through Workday application, some employee's personal information he updated, the user is updated here. Basically, a web page request will be sent to the UI server over HTTP. A web page request, like, so it's on the browser, right? It's like basically we call it as a web page. Okay, when an employee has entered some information, a web page request will be created and it will send to UI server over HTTPS here, HTTPS, because it's an internet, we call it as HTTPS. So the information will be passed to UI server first. From UI server, it will be transformed into a web page. It will transform a web page request to web service request and make a call to the web service available in object management system. Finally, that handles the it will convert the data into Workday readable format and it will store the information into persistent store. So this way it will work here. Even from system, external system or third party system, you are receiving data or we are updating data to from there. We are sending data from there. So how it will work here is, so external system, the request will come to integration server first. Okay, from integration server, the request will be converted from a web service request available on object management system. So that web service request will be used to, or it will handle that information and it will interact with persistent store to update information or to extract information for persistent store. This is about brief introduction about architecture here. Okay, how it works in Workday integrations. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm continuing with the different slides here. If you have any questions on the architecture, we'll be uh, discuss here. Otherwise, we can proceed with the next slide. So this is just architecture is just for information purpose only. We don't be working with. It's not anything needed for building the integrations and all. How an architecture is in Workday, how it is organized. So just for information purpose, I'm saying it, telling it here now. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. I'm moving to the next slide here.
Yes, sir. This is Vivek. Hello.
I don't think he can hear you, Vivek.
Okay, so if you don't have any questions, so this is a slide where we'll be Workday Cloud here, where you see a Workday Cloud. We have Workday application, and it has a web services here. I said in the previous slide, it's all about web services. We were interacting with persistent store. Workday application comes with two different services here, public web service APIs and custom APIs. Public web service APIs are nothing but the ones which are provided by Workday. So as you shared, like when you click on this, all these operations are, we call it as a public web services operations. Anyone can access it by using that URL, and it has a code. Like suppose this is a web service operation. I didn't tell you the code, right? So let's take one of the operation we'll be having. How we'll open it? Okay, get workers is a web service operation used to, it returns, what it does is it returns public and private information of a specific workers here. So when I click on this get workers web service operation, you will be having multiple components here: web service request response, and elements. So if you click on web service request, you'll be seeing a code here that is in the form of XML. Okay, and when I click on this is the entire code we will be using to make a request to web service call here. So this will be provided by Workday. We don't need to write any code, but it's a pseudo code here. Maybe we may need to alter this code, depends on our requirements. Just contain a big code or it have a lot of information, but these web services are in the form of XMLs here. Okay, we will be able to read this XML and send a web service request to the persistent store. to perform some operation, whether it's a extract information operation or import data into import data operation here. Basically, this get workers web service request used to get employees uh, worker information. It can be a worker personal information, worker job data, worker positions information, worker financials, worker payroll data, benefits data, any data. If you want to extract it here, we can use a get web workers web service request, uh, and we'll send a request to we build a request and we send it to Workday, and Workday will provide a response back to us in the form of output file or in the form of output. So these all operations, whatever I show here, it contains a code. Any operation you click on it, it contains a code here, and it will be used to interact with persistent store, and with this will be used in our integrations basically. So if you want to build an outbound integration or inbound integration, all these web services will be used in our integrations here. Okay, so these are called public web services. Whatever provided by Workday, those are called public web services, which we shown now. Custom web services, custom APIs are nothing but custom reports we build. In Workday, we'll be able to build our own custom reports. We have a report writer tool within the Workday. Using that tool, we build our own custom reports and we make them web service enabled, so that it will act as a web service here. So all are custom APIs or custom web services here. So basically, two types of web services: public web services and custom APIs. You can say it here. Okay, and Workday Integration Cloud. Workday Integration Cloud is a naming convention. It's just since Workday is on the cloud, so we call it as Workday Integration Cloud. So basically, it is classified into two types here: Workday Cloud Connect and custom integrations. Workday Cloud Connect is nothing but all Workday delivered integrations. Workday, along with the application, Workday also delivered some kind of integrations. It comes with the Workday application. Okay, there are plenty of Workday delivered integrations. If any customer is want to use those integrations, they can readily use it. They don't need to create a new integration or build a new integration. So all custom Workday has provided some integrations. Those call it as Integration Cloud Connect. It's just a naming convention, but you can assume that it's a Workday delivered or Workday provided integrations. Custom integrations are customer specific integrations. So all Workday delivered integrations is same for across all customers. Like if you have around Workday has using around 5,000 plus customers across the world. So if they provide some integration, it is available for every customer using the Workday application. Okay, they can use it, but custom integrations are customer specific. Customer depends on their requirements. They build the integrations. They depends on their usage and their requirements. They build their own integrations and they will maintain. Customer will maintain those integrations here. Those will called as a custom integrations. So if you are working with Workday integrations, you will be sometimes you'll be using delivered integration. Sometimes you'll be using building a custom integrations. Depends on customer requirement here. So both will be, and Workday will have both type of integrations here. Integration Cloud Connect is nothing but Workday delivered integrations. Custom integrations are nothing but customer specific integrations. We'll see more about this in a little later slides. Okay. Before that, let me talk about, if you are not aware or very new to this, you are not aware what is this integration at all. So integration is like a bridge between two applications here. So let's assume Workday is an application. Target system is a different application here. So if you want to exchange data between Workday and target system, we need a bridge here. So integration will act as a bridge between two applications here to exchange information each other here. So that is nothing but an integration. Okay, there are two types of integrations available. One is outbound integration. Outbound in the sense data is moving from Workday to third-party system here. Okay, basically data will be available in Workday. We are sending this data or information from Workday to third-party system, that is going out from Workday. That is going out from Workday. So that we call it as an outbound integration. Okay, so this is an architecture of Workday integration here. if you see. In Workday, all data will be stored on business objects here. Okay, business objects. Like you have an RDBMS or a database, we have a table or record, and there you will see rows and columns. All data will be stored in the table or record if you have Oracle database. But here we don't have a database and it stores on the cloud, right? So where are the objects it can be stored? So in Workday we will be having business objects. Let's assume worker is a business object, payroll is a business object here, talent, financials. Everything is a business object. The data will be resides or stores in business objects, and when you are building an outbound integrations, you'll be extracting information from these business objects because this is the place data will be stored. So if you want to build an outbound integration, we have to extract data from Workday. That is nothing but these Workday business objects we need to extract. And this extraction can be two ways here. When you are building the integration, how do you extract data from these Workday business objects? Yes, there are two types here. Using web services, we can extract data. As I said, employees web services all that starts with the get. Those will be used to extract information from Workday. That is nothing but extract information from these Workday business objects here. All get web services. And also by using a custom builds, custom APIs or custom web services, we can build and we can extract information from Workday here. So custom reports, basically we build a custom report and we make it as a web service enabled so that it will act as a RAS report to extract information from these business objects, which is used to send information to third-party system here or external system. When you are building these integrations, either you have to use a web service or either you have to use a custom reports to build the integration. And once it is built, you can actually transform or deliver the data to external system here. Okay, using FTP, SFTP, there are different ways to transform the data here, different ways to transform it. FTP is a file transfer protocol. SFTP is a secure file transfer protocol. These are the protocols basically transform data files from one system to another system here. Like Workday has a file. I want to transform into a target system, a third-party system who needs that information. How do you transfer the file? So that is what these protocols here. We have different protocols to transform the files, and once we build the integration, we will be using any of these protocols to send output data to third party or external systems here. This is an architecture of an outbound integration, and we'll be seeing here Workday versus RDBMS, just a brief introduction. So if you are aware of database, Oracle database or something, you'll be seeing records, views, columns, child tables and rows. Okay, here in database, table is nothing but in database in Workday we call it as a business object. So in RDBMS database, you will be having a table or record. In Workday, we have a business object where data will be stored. Okay. Okay. In database, we have a view. In Workday, we have a report data source. Each is equivalent to view. Okay. And in database, we have a column. So each table contains columns and records, right? So each table or record contains rows and columns. Similarly, we have business object contains class report fields and instances. Class report field is nothing but a column. Instance is nothing but a row in a table. We'll be having a child table or child record here, which is related to related business object. In Workday, we call it as related business object. So this is a small comparison between database and Workday architecture, how data is stored here in the business objects, or what are the terminologies we have in Workday. So it is equivalent to, not just a comparison, but it is, if you are very much familiar with RDBMS who have working database and all, so I'm just giving you brief comparison between Workday versus RDBMS here in this. Okay. So next slide, I'm going to discuss about inbound integration. Inbound integration is used to receive data from third-party system, and we load data into Workday here. So data will be coming from external system here, and we'll be loading that into Workday. So that is called inbound. So data is coming to Workday, right? So we'll get an inbound integration here. For example, payroll inputs, time tracking, Java applicants information. Maybe this information will be coming from external system. We'll be loading into Workday. So we'll be building an inbound integration here to load data from into Workday. So this is an architecture for inbound integration. We'll be receiving data from external system using different transport protocols here. FTPS, FTP, or REST services will receive it. And we build an integration using web services. I'll put web services here. Like as I said, we'll be having get and put web services. Like whatever the service we want to import, there is a web service available here that starts with put. So using this put web services, we will build an integration, and we'll be inserting data into a business objects here. Okay, when outbound integration, we extract data from business objects. An inbound integration, we load data into business objects here. We load data into business object, and this is an architecture of business objects here. Okay, so the important thing is if you want to extract or load data into Workday, the data must be in Workday compliant format, Workday readable format, which is an XML here, Workday XML. So if you want to feed data into Workday, or if you are extracting data from Workday, the data will be in the form of XML here, which is Workday XML format. So we may need to convert into a different formats, text file, CSV file. You know what is XML format? Like so, this is an XML here. Okay, XML. Yeah, this is an output of. I'm just opening it. XML here. So this is an output of Workday. Okay, whatever if you run in a web service, get workers web service, the output will be coming as in the form of web services here. This is an output, and if you see, if you want worker information, I'm going to see an worker information. This is a worker employee ID. Okay, worker first name, eligibility, last name, address information. So you will be seeing every workers information here in this paragraph, like how Excel or CSV or text files will looks like. Similarly, this is an XML output. The Workday will provide only XML output, and it able to understand that data or information is available in Workday XML format. So the basic concept here is like it's all you need to understand. This maybe many people know it. If not, it's not a very big deal. We can understand here. All the data will be available in elements here. Like if you see employee ID, and this is a employee ID element, and you see the employee ID in between start tag and end tag. So this is the data actually. So this data will be stored between elements here. Okay, in every XML format, extensible markup language here. You can say that it's one of the file output file format. So data will be stored in these tags here are elements. So this name, first name is Meg, last name is Saunders R214 here. Okay, so you see this is the last name. So this is a form of XML here. You can see all data will be in the form of XMLs here, whether it's an inbound or outbound. So we must complain with Workday complaint format, which is Workday XML format here. So yeah, this about you must be understand of what is XML. Like even if you are not very new to XML, we'll talk about later classes how it looks like and how to understand these XML files. Okay, we can see it later classes here. So this is an inbound architecture. Okay, when you see Workday integrations, as I said, there are two types of integrations: Workday Cloud Connect and custom integrations. Cloud Connect is nothing but Workday delivered integrations here. Workday delivered integrations. So these again there are two types here: packaged integrations and connectors. Package integrations will be built for a particular vendor. Okay, connectors will be built for a particular functional area. Both are delivered by Workday. So we'll be building using these integrations to send information or receive information from third-party systems here. Okay, these Workday cloud connectors are Workday delivered integrations, and there are let's assume mm, there are some vendors like Fidelity, United Healthcare, Sun Life, MetLife. Blue Cross, Blue Shield. These are some vendors are third-party companies where provide benefits to the employees. Like in an organization, they must have provide some benefits to their employees. For that, they will be it can be health benefits, medical benefits, dental benefits, vision, insurance, any benefits. If they want to provide to their employees, they must tie up with these insurance companies. Let's assume Sun Life, MetLife, or Fidelity are some of the insurance companies. So the customers or organization, they tie up with these companies to provide benefits to their employees. Okay, to provide the benefits to their employees, they must pass this information, the employee data, to these vendors here, these external systems, Sun Life or MetLife. How do they pass? They need an integration to pass customers' employee information to these vendors. So what Workday does is, anyway, they need an integration. Okay, we have majority of the vendors in the system, like the top popular vendors who will provide different benefits. What Workday does is, Workday has already tie up with those vendors. They gather the requirements, file format, what files to be sent, what fields to be sent, what are the employees in population we need to send, what is the output file format look like. So they gather every requirement of these integrations, and they build an integration and they were along with the application. Okay, let's assume like many of the vendors are custom organization, they must be tied up with some of the benefit vendors here. So since Workday has provided the benefit integration already, they can readily use it to send information to those vendors. Suppose my company is working with MetLife, Sun Life, other company who will provide benefits to my employees. So what I can do, I need to send all my employee data to that vendor who is Sun Life. So for that, we need to build an integration. Customer need to build an integration. So there are a lot of customers like us who will be dealing with Sun Life already. Like there are plenty of customers like us who will be dealing with Sun Life already. So to simplify all those customers, so every customer need to build the integration. Okay, but if Workday provides the integration directly to that customer, that vendor, so everybody make use of that. So they don't need to create their own integration. So they can readily use integration is available. They can make it available here. They can use and build it. Okay, that is called as package integrations or Workday delivered integrations. We have custom integrations as well. Okay, there are different tools to build these custom integrations: APIs, EABs, document transformation, and Workday Studio. APIs is nothing but application programming interfaces. Okay, EABs is an enterprise integration builder. It's a tool to build the inbound and outbound integration. Document transformation is another integration type which is used to transform the output files from XML to different format. As I said, like Workday will give output in XML format only, default output. If you want to generate a CSV file or a text file or fixed length file, you need to apply a transformation. So for that, we'll be using a code called XSLT, Extensible Style Sheet Language Transformation. It's a coding language, I can say, which use XML file as an input and it transform into a text file or a CSV file or fixed width file, whatever the file format you want, it will transform here. For that, we apply document transformation here. It's a integration tool to transform files from one format to another format here. Then finally, Workday Studio, which is used to another tool to build very complex integrations, especially complex inbound integrations. We will be using it here. So there are 4 different tools we will be using to build our custom integrations. Apart from Workday delivery integrations, we will be having a custom integrations. We will be using these tools to build it, the custom integrations here. Okay, as I said, we already discussed about what is package integrations and connectors. All these are Workday delivered integrations. We will be talking more about them in later classes. Okay, these are some examples of connectors for package integration. Medical, dental, vision is one of the connector or one of the delivered integration, Workday delivered integrations. Okay, and similarly, we'll be having some examples for connectors here. Like we have different connectors. Connectors is nothing but Workday delivered templates okay, where we can make use of them and build the integrations using these connectors here. Okay, these examples given, like we'll be discussing one by one when we are really looking into the building the integration stage. Like just today's an introduction class, and we'll be seeing an overview of all the type of integrations and different tools to build those integrations. In later classes, we'll be seeing building the integrations using these tools here. We'll be building integrations using connectors. We'll be building integrations using EAVs, document transformation, and Workday Studio there. Okay. So yeah, as I said, cloud platforms, there are 4 different tools in Workday to build the custom integrations here. Okay, all these tools are mm, yeah, APIs is one of the tool, application programming interface. Using them, we build there are 2 ways of APIs, RAS reports and web services. We can create our custom reports and make it as a RAS reports, and also Workday provided web services available here in the OMS object management system. So we build those web services we build the integrations using these web services or RAS reports to transform data into different system here. Like we'll be generating output files like CSV file, XML file, RAS, JSON. These are different output files we will generate using RAS report. Web services will be used both importing and exporting. RAS reports only for exporting data from Workday system to third-party system. Will export RAS reports, report as a service. RAS is nothing but reports as a service here. Okay. So web services, we can import data and export data. There are 2 different types of web services available. SOAP web services and RESTful web services. Both the web services will be using that here in Workday to build the integrations. Okay. Next tool is EAB here, Enterprise Integration Builder. EAB, it's a Workday delivered tool to build the integrations. We can build inbound and outbound integrations using this tool as well. There are, as you know, what is inbound integration, what is an outbound integration. So inbound is loading data into Workday, outbound is taking data from Workday and send to third-party system. So using inbound also, EAB Enterprise Integration Builder, we can build integrations both inbound and outbound. And if it is an inbound, we use a different, if you want to bulk hires, bulk transfers, bulk promotions, especially in HR system, what do we do? We can hire bulk employees at a time. So if you want to hire hundreds of employees, if you want to work with Workday, like it's take a lot of time to hire employees. Okay, if the integration, we build an integration and uh, run it. If you quickly load bulk employees at a time, like thousands employees at a time, within a 10 minutes or 15 minutes time frame, we can load thousands of data using these inbound integrations here. Bulk hires, transfers, promotions, terminations, bulk terminations. All we can do with inbound EAB integrations here. Outbound integrations is extract data from Workday, again by using a RAS report or by using a web service. Uh, we use extract information from Workday, and we will send this information in the different file formats here: CSV, Excel, Google Data, XML, JSON. These are different output file formats. We'll be able to deliver to third parties. We'll be able to deliver data to third party system in these different formats here. Okay, so here is my slide. Yeah, we're talking about enterprise integration builder. So this is, we build both inbound and outbound integrations using this AB tool here. Okay. So the other tool which we will be using here, the document transformation, it takes an XML output file as generated by concurrent or custom report and transform into a different file format. It can be CSV file, text file here. Okay, so we here in the document transformation, we use a coding language called XSLT, Extensible Style Sheet Language Transformation. It's a coding, and if you look like it, the XSL file looks like it's in an XML format only, but this is where we write the code, some kind of code here to transform XML file to text file or XML file to CSV file or XML file to fixed length file. So here XSLT is a language or a coding which reads an XML input. This is an XML. It reads this input and transform into a text file here or a CSV file. So in document transformation, we'll be applying some code here to transform documents from one format to another format. Additionally, we can leverage Workday functionalities like integration services, attributes, maps, and all here. And also you can use ETV and XTT functions. It's specific to these functions are specific to Workday. Okay, we'll be using these functions to especially validating data error handling, validation of data and data formatting, and all we'll be using this function. So in the document transformation, these are functions we'll be using it here, XTT functions, ETV functions. So when you are building this code, I'll tell you what is this ETV and XTT functions means, what is the purpose of we are using it. So anyway, we'll be building this XSLT file, creating this file, and when you are building document transformation type of integrations, I'll be showing how to write this code and all here, an XSLT code, and how to make use of these ETV and XT functions. We'll be seeing it in later classes there. Yeah, this is about document transformation. The finally is Workday Studio is another tool. Okay, it's an open source development tool called Eclipse, Java based open source development tool. It's called an Eclipse V. So Workday take that Eclipse and they had install some plugins and named it as a Workday Studio. Basically, it's a open source Java development tool, called Eclipse here. Okay, so who are already working with Java and all, they might know what is Eclipse. Okay, it's a tool to build Java, write some Java code there to build some applications. Yeah. Similarly, Workday they taken this Eclipse tool mm, and named it as Work, added some plugins and named it as Workday. So we'll be using this tool to build very complex integrations where we not be able to achieve uh, with the different tools like EAP, document transformation, connectors, packaged integrations. So our requirement doesn't meet any of those tools. We'll not able to achieve them. So the final tool which we'll be using is Workday Studio here. So every complex integrations will be able to build this Workday Studio, and we can also apply Java code here. Additionally, we can use Workday features like integration services, attributes, maps, and we'll be using custom reports, web services, everything here in the Workday Studio to build an integration here. Basically, very complex integrations which has a lot of validations or business logics inside it, which is not available or we cannot manage with other different tools based on their limitations or of those tools. So basically, and final destination is Workday Studio here, where build complex type of integrations here. So this is about other tool, our final tool here, Workday integration. Basically, we'll be having 4 tools to build the custom integrations here. Okay, EABs, core connectors, document transformation, and Studio. So when you look at it here, yeah. So these are the 4 tools we'll be using to build the integrations, our custom integrations. Okay, especially custom integrations. Okay. Packaged integrations are delivered integrations anyway. They are ready to use. We don't need any coding configurations needed on that, especially, or less configurations needed sometimes. So all delivered integrations are readily used to integrations. Okay, we don't need to build integration for that. So they can be used. But you must know, when you are building with custom integrations, there are different tools. You must be knowing that. And EAB's core connectors, document transformation, and Workday Studio is the tools we'll be used to build our integrations. That's what we'll be going to discuss in our later classes, these tools. So this integration course content is what I have described in this course here. Okay. One is report writer. Report writer is a tool. First, we will discuss in a same order. Like we start with report writer first. Report writer is used to write our custom reports. Here we can build our custom reports using a report writer. Then calculated fields is the concept which is used to build our custom fields. We can create our own fields using calculated field functions. Okay. So first topic is report writer, and second topic we will be discussing calculated fields. Then finally we start with the building the integrations with different tools here, EABs, core connectors, document transformation, and Workday Studio. And we'll be talking about integration security as well, like how we can secure these integrations, how we can create what data is retrieved, whatever the data we retrieved, is it secureable or not, how we can make a security of these integrations, who can run these integrations, who can see the data actually. So all these we'll be seeing about in the integration security. Okay, first we start with report writer, then we start with calculate wheels, ABs, core connectors, document transformation, Workday Studio, and integration security. Here, this is the concepts we will be discussing it. Each topic will take 4 to 5 classes. Report writer will take 5 classes. Calculate field will take 4 to 5 classes. ABs 6 to 7 classes, because we need to discuss both inbound and outbound ABs here. Inbound integrations and outbound integrations, each tool. And core connectors will take 4 to 5 classes. Document transformation about 2 classes. Workday Studio overview about 2 classes here, and integration security 1 class. So this total integration course is about 20 to 25 hours it will take. Okay, the training is both HCM core and integrations. HCM core will be done provided by Workday. HCM will be provided by different person and functional consultant. So this course is basically like techno-functional course here. So you'll be knowing some technical concepts along with the HCM here. Maybe if some of you already attended knows our HCM, then you can directly learn integration. If it is not HCM will be provided. Workday HCM or mm, the functional area will be covered by different functional consultant. Okay, different trainer, and I'll be taking care of integrations. Both HCM and integrations is about 35 hours. Integrations alone it will be 25 hours here. So I'll be teaching these all these areas of integrations in Workday. Okay, so we'll be meeting about 7 a.m. every day, Monday to Friday, and we'll start with report writer first. And so once every concept is completed, a recorded video will be shared to you. And also Workday provided material for that, like for each concept, report writer, calculate wheels, CABs, Workday has provided some material to which has some activities to perform or to practice on your own, how to do this, and it has some material information and activities both available there in the material. So material will be provided along with recorded videos also will be shared to you. If you want to go through any time later, you can make use of it here. So that's about today's class. Now I'm closing it. We'll start with the report writer tomorrow. Okay, if you have any questions on these, and feel free, let me know about this course content and anything, like whatever. If you have any questions, you can let me know. We can discuss here.